Let's dive into the Bible. Today we're going to look at Luke chapter 8, verses 40 to 48. I'm going to be using NIV Bible for this one. So today I'm going to read it for you, okay? But just follow along with your Bible up on the screen, all right? Now when Jesus returned, a crowd welcomed him, for they were all expecting him. Then a man named Jairus, a synagogue leader, came and fell at Jesus' feet, pleading with him to come to his house, because his only daughter, a girl of about 12 years old, was dying. As Jesus was on his way, the crowd almost crushed him. And a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. For 12 years. But no one could heal her. She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. And immediately her bleeding stopped. And Jesus asked, "Who touched me?" When they all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." I want to start off with a survey, a question for you guys. So if you were to live in one place, would you guys rather live in a city or like vibrant, busy, with a lot of people, with energy, like loud? Like, just think of it as like New York, right? Or would you guys live in a city like more relaxed, like West Coast, LA, right? LA feel. Beaches, fun, warm, Where would you rather live? Then the next one. If you had a day off, well, you can go out for, anything. Would you rather go to a mall? Or would you rather go out in the nature, hiking or like beaches? Where would you rather go? I'm more of a nature guy, right? I'd rather live in LA than New York. I'm more relaxed, fun. Whenever I have free time, I hate going to the mall. Like, I just don't go unless I have to buy something. I need to buy clothes or something. I even on Boxing. Do you guys go shopping on Boxing Days? Yeah? See, like I never go out on Boxing Days, right? It's just my relaxed day. Like I hate when there's a lot of people, you get crowded, pushed off, especially have you guys gone to Metrotown on Boxing Days? There's people line up like crazy. They like come in the morning to buy stuff. Like I'd never go out, right? I've went out once when I was in like grade 9, and since then I never went out on Boxing Day. That's just who I just don't like when there's a lot of people. Well, I'm extrovert. I like people. I just don't like that, crowded, with a lot of people. That's not my thing. But the passage that we read today, Jesus was doing his ministry across from the Sea of Galilee, and he came back to Judea. And a lot of people been waiting for Jesus. He's so popular. Like wherever he goes, there's people following him. And as soon as he got off the ship on the shore, just a lot of people were waiting for Jesus. He's performing all these miracles, right? And they were waiting for a Messiah, and people thought, maybe he's the one, right? So everywhere he went, a lot of big crowd followed him. Have you guys ever been to Korea? Yeah, you have? Have you guys used the transit there? Subway? In the peak hours? Literally, people stand like this in subway, right? In the summer especially, when they're sweating, it's gross. If you that feeling like the sweaty like skin feeling, I hate it, right? I just don't like it. But everywhere Jesus went was like Subway in Korea. It's so crowded. People were just standing there, shoving, pushing over. And they were seeking Jesus' attention. As soon as he got off, hey, Jesus, come to my place. Let's have samgyeopsal together. Like, hey, come over. You guys like samgyeopsal? No, it's not your thing? Well, something like have sushi or whatever. They were like trying to grab his attention, right? Hey, come over, come to my place. Come to me, like, let's have a talk. Because he was so popular. It was like the fans everywhere. Like, hey, Jesus, come. Have you guys watched a TV show called Show Me the Money? You guys like it? Well, it's a Korean TV program called Show Me the Money. It's a rapping competition, right? Or audition. So people, like, I think last year over 10,000 people participated, I think, right? Yeah, over 10,000 people. Because, there are so many talented rappers in Korea. They all come out. If they win the tournament or the event, I think they win about $100,000 and a car, right? It's pretty big money, right? So if you have gifts in like rapping, the people will just come out and just try out, right? And I watched this show. I watched season 5. I didn't watch season 6 fully, but I was watching it. And there are really interesting people out there, like weird people, right? If you want to watch the show, you need to watch it from the first episode, because in the first one, 10,000 people come. Some it's embarrassing. Some people just dress up like crazy, like they have all this crazy hair. Like some people just yell. I don't know what they're doing, right? Sometimes I had to stop and pray for some people, right? It's that bad, like so embarrassing. I'm like, what are you doing, right? Because you know why they do that? Because they want to grab the judge's attention. They want their attention. They want to pass, right? They need to appeal that they're good. They're good in some way. They're unique in some way. Unless they have that uniqueness or that skill, they don't pass, right? They try to do all this. Well, just watch the first episode if you don't know what I'm talking about. But you'll have to pray for those people, right? It was like that when Jesus came. People just yelling at Jesus, hey, Jesus, come over to my place. I'm sick. Can you pray for me? Jesus, I need you. They were all, yelling, yearning for him. But out of all the crowds there, Jesus only gives his attention to 2. One's Jairus. He's the ruler of the synagogue. He's the caretaker of the synagogue. And one was a woman who bled for 12 years. Among many people, among the crowd, he gives only attention to the 2. Why? Jairus was synagogue ruler, a leader. What that is every villages had a synagogue. It's like a church or a community center. People came in, they learned about the Mosaic laws, the Bible. They would have their fellowship there. People just come in and out, teach, preach, share life. It's like a community center plus a church. So a caretaker or manager of synagogue is pretty high up there in socially. Like he's well respected, well recognized. People knew about him. People had respect for him. So when Jairus came to Jesus, it makes sense. People made a way for him. Plus, his daughter was sick. His daughter was almost dying. His daughter, only 12 years old, was dying. So Jesus gives his attention to Jairus. Hey, your daughter's sick? I'll go. Don't worry, I'll go. I'll heal her. As he was walking to Jairus' place, a woman who's been bleeding for 12 years touches the fringe of his garment. Just touches right? And at that moment, Jesus turns. Who was it? Hey, someone touched me. Do you guys think he knew? Jesus knew who it was? Of course, right? He knows everything, but he asks, hey, who touched me? Who was it? Well, Jairus is a well-respected person. Socially, everyone knows him. He's high up there, like he's respected. But who was this lady? Unlike Jairus, this lady, this woman, was weak. Socially, just put aside, isolated. People avoided her. Because, you know why? She was bleeding for 12 years. If you know the Mosaic Law from Leviticus 15, it says, when a woman has discharge of blood, she will be unclean, pretty much. If she's bleeding, she's unclean. And verse 27, and anyone who touches her will be also unclean. So she's been discharging blood for 12 years. Not 12 days, 12 years. Consistently bleeding. And she's considered unclean in that culture. So people had to avoid her. Put her aside. Well, if she touches someone, he also gets unclean. She's not welcomed in the community. She had to stay home. That's how, she helps others, right? She just don't go to places where there are a lot of people. But she was there when Jesus was there. For 12 years, she was bleeding. And she went and touched Jesus, his garment. In the Bible, there are special numbers that you need to know. I believe Pastor Josh preached about Jesus' fasting last week or 2 weeks ago, right? And for how long have Jesus been fasting for in the wilderness? Do you guys know? 40 days, right? Fasted for 40 days. 40 is a number that signifies training and preparing. Israelites were out in the wilderness for 40 years. God was just training them, preparing them to enter to the promised land for 40 years. Noah was in the ark for what? 40 days. Right? 40 is a very important number. It's symbolic, preparation, training. 12, the number 12, signifies completeness and wholeness. When you see the number 12, well, how many disciples did Jesus have? 12, right? How many tribes are there in Israel? 12. It's complete. It's whole. Well, when Bible says she was sick, she was bleeding out for 12 years, you know what it means? It means for 12 years she tried everything, but this bleeding thing would never stop. It's incurable. She tried for 12 years, done. She can't do anything anymore. There's no hope. She go meet all these doctors, physicians, whoever, religious leaders. No, nothing she could do. The bleeding wouldn't stop. She was bleeding for 12 years. That's what it meant. She's hopeless. Permanently, nothing's going to change. As I was meditating on this passage, I was praying, God, what's the one, message that I should share with the youth today? I was praying, asking, seeking. And this is the one thing that I want to share with you guys. Is hoping. A hope. That when it seems like hopeless, when there's nothing that you can do. For 12 years, she was sick, she was bleeding. She still had hope. That when she meet Jesus Christ, there's something. There might be something that Jesus can give us. Hope. Hoping is sometimes really hard. Because you know why? If you hope for something, like if you have high expectations, when the expectations don't meet, you get what? Frustrated. Right? And I hate that feeling. I just don't like it. Well, this I'm also practicing, right? Hoping for something good. And once you have high expectation and you get frustrated and that cycle goes on, what do people do? They just stop hoping for good things. They just close their hearts, right? They don't hope anymore. They don't have any expectations on people. I was like that. My family, when I was your age in high school, one thing I really wanted to do was like enjoyed was family gathering, like birthday. Well, we have a lot of family members. We had 6, right? So on the birthdays, like Christmas, like I wanted to have that family gathering, family moment, family dinner, gift exchanges. Those I really wanted to do, but my brother was not really keen on it. Like my older brother, he was working all the time. He had a lot of friends, so every time we try to meet, well, there were 6 of us, right? It's hard to match the schedule and meet on a day. So, like sometimes we just meet without like my brother, my dad, which is 4 of us. It's not really fun, right? When we're not all gathered. And I was hoping that we would one day all meet as a family of all 6. I was hoping, but no, it didn't happen. Hoping, no, it didn't happen. Someone's busy. After a few of it, I just got exhausted. I gave up. And after a few years, I started to make other, schedules. I met my friends because I was hurt. I started to, make plans on the day. And that's how it was for my family for whole my high school years, right? I was just hurt. And I had no expectations on my family. But God really asked, well, as I was meditating on this passage, God challenged me. Phil, is that a right thing to do? You have no hope, no expectations for your family? I was protecting myself. I didn't want to get hurt again, right? Self-defense. I have no expectation. It's okay when things don't happen, right? But if you have high expectations, you get hurt, frustrated. I was self-defense. Just defending for myself, protecting myself. But you know what really hurts? I have a younger sister, 11 years apart. She had the same thing. Her elementary years, high school years, she was hoping that our family would gather, but it didn't happen. So she was hurt. And we're all grown ups, right? I'm married, and we have an older brother. We realize that family is important at this age. So for my older brother and I, we try to meet. Hey, family is important. Let's meet. So we try to change the culture, but that culture that we set back in my high school days, it didn't change. And my younger sister, who's got hurt by it, she's now making other plans. She's just avoiding that frustration. And God has been really challenging me. Hey, is that a good thing? No. You need to have a hope. As Christians, Jesus is our hope. When there's Jesus, things happen. Good things happen. He's the giver of hope. He has the power to change your life. And if you believe in Him, you need to have a hope in Jesus Christ. What about you guys? Do you guys have hope in Him? Or are you guys like me, who's hurt, has no expectations whatsoever? So whatever happens is okay, right? Because you had no expectation at all. If things go badly, it's okay, because I had no expectation. Are you guys hurt? When I meet my students at Clay Youth, I see so many so much brokenness. I'm pretty sure you guys we all have brokenness, right? We all have weaknesses. And some of the students I met just over the week, and they were like, Pastor Phil, I have no expectation from my family. My mom just don't understand me. I don't think I can, compromise, get along with my family. I'm just waiting to graduate from high school. Just leave out. Just be independent. They're just waiting for their graduation. They just don't have any expectations. And there are some people, some students saying, hey, Pastor Phil, I try to be good as Christians at school. It's just not easy. I try to change my culture. Be honest. Be loving. Be faithful. Holy. It was really hard at school. I don't think I can transform the culture, people, my friends. I can't do it. I want to give up. Maybe that's you. But there are people out there, there's students out there struggling. They just don't have hope. Trying to give up. I just can't do it anymore, Pastor Phil. This woman suffered for 12 years. 12 years. Hoping that she would, find someone who can help her. Someone who can heal her. But for 12 years, she couldn't find anyone. She met this doctor. This doctor tries. No, can't do it. She goes to another person. Can you help me? No, can't do it. For 12 years, she was broken, exhausted. But she still had hope that Jesus, if she meets Jesus, he might help me. And as soon as she touches the fringe of the garment, she was healed. Just turned. And his power just flew out from him. She got healed. Gem Youth, where are you guys at? Are you guys broken? Are you guys just giving up? Where are you guys at? Wherever you are, it's okay. Never give up that hope on Jesus Christ. Because He has power to change your life. He has power to heal what looks uncurable, unchangeable. He can change your family. He can change your school. He can change your friends. It might take up 12 years. Right now it seems, miserable. Nothing could change. I know. She was sick for 12 years. But Gem News, please don't give up. Never give up. Even if it takes 12 years, don't give up. Because in the end, if you have hope in Jesus Christ and touch His garments, that's when your life change. That's when everything restores. That's when you experience the new life. Never cease to hope in Christ. Never stop hoping that Jesus will come through and change your life. That He will touch your lives, touch your wounds, touch your weaknesses, because He will come through. He is Jesus Christ. I want to share one passage from Lamentations. It's Lamentations 3:18 to 22. I cry out, my splendor is gone. Everything I had hoped for from the Lord is lost. The thought of my suffering and homelessness is bitter beyond words. I will never forget this awful time as I grieve over my loss. Yet, I still dare to hope when I remembered this. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercies never cease.